I am in here talking to myself. Yes, I was. I thought I hit that live button. I did not. Welcome to Dear Dana. Now I'm live. I tell you, I swear sometimes I need a bell going off in my head. I swear I thought I was live. I was just talking. It is Saturday night. I hope everyone is well and you're having an exciting night. Not that exciting in this household. It's chilly. It's chilly here in Georgia. It's time for the comfy blankets and the jackets, football games, and all of that stuff. Hello, Marie Crumb. There might be a lot of people at football games. I know my mom's watching football tonight. I am so happy that people are showing up and watching out in the bushes. Hey, C. Cruz. Tonight, the topic is, do you have magic abilities? And it can be about this. Ooh, and it's partly about this, but it's not all about this. Maybe it's a combination because it is the magic that you have, and we're going to get to that. But I want to thank everyone for coming to Dear Dana. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, especially those in the bushes. I see you. I feel you. I don't know your name yet. I say yet because I'm hoping you're going to get brave enough to come up in this chat where we're safe in here. It's a no hate zone. We like to get to know each other. It's a no hate in here. I don't allow that kind of stuff. It's too stressful out in the other YouTube areas and in the world, period. We don't need the hate in here. No, I don't want the hate in here. I like to vibrate at a higher level, get my energy going up. Hey, Shelly Marie, my mod of mods, and thank you for being my mod. It's cold here in southeast Ohio, too. Yesterday, 85, today, 50. Woo, honey. Hello, Arseny Pasakov. Hello, Arseny Pasakov. How are you? Arseny, Shelley Marie, and C. Cruz. My favorite faves are starting to file in. Welcome to Dear Dana, everybody. Like, subscribe, share if you wanna. So glad everyone's filing in. Like I said, tonight is, do you have magic abilities? Maybe I should have put magical. It might have been possibly more correct. I don't know, but you get the drift. You know what's so funny? When we are little kids, we all believe in magic. What happened to that? We all believed in magic, and it was fun to believe in magic. It was fun. Who beat the magic out of us? Who took that away? I want to talk to them. And I'm starting to realize I want my magic back. I want my magic back. And I believe we still all have it in there. You know, there's people that their religion is Wicca, and they're Wiccans, and that is all cool and fine. I don't judge, and some people have called me a natural witch. They have. Not my religion. Does discernment count as magic? Discernment? The ability to feel it within you. Are you saying that, Arseny? When you can feel it in your gut, discernment in that way? Discernment can be seen in two ways. Use your discernment to pick and choose. Use your discernment to pick and choose. Meaning people can use their better judgment. But if you have that internal discernment where it's coming from your gut, You could use that, say maybe it's a magic, a special gift. I would say, yeah. I would call the gifts we are born with, like a healing gift, could be counted sort of like magic, if you want to call it that. It's about what you choose to call it, so to speak. I believe we have God given gifts that we don't tap into. But before I go further with it, blink, 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 or like what was that show, Bewitched? I'll go do 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 do, and let me throw down my intros. Yeah, please like and subscribe, and here they go. Let me throw them down. I become more and more attached putting those two intros together. I had one created, and my daughter created the second one. And now I think they go good together instead of separate. So I'm going to keep it that way. um, but yeah, I think that here's the breakdown. And I was educated about this from a guru from India. Not in person, though. Let me say that. From 1 to 7, we have a certain development. We learn to crawl, walk, talk, all of that stuff. And we learn about the world around us and what's hot and what's cold, and learn to eat, and all of that stuff, right? And from 7 to 14, look at the development we get, right? And then we go from 14, we're learning to become an adult, going through puberty, graduating high school, 14 to 21. And then 21, it's like, we're about to get out of college, time to get a job, time to get married, find a partner, all of that stuff. When from 21 to 28 should really be when we tap into our God-given gifts and our spiritual development, but something along the way in humanity that, because you've got your spiritual, emotional, physical, and behavioral, right? You've got all of those things. Spiritual got taken out. That deep spiritual where we discover the gifts, somewhere along the line, that 7 years just got eliminated. Yes, we have church, and that's religion. Spiritual is more up to us, and it's our relationship with Creator, which is God to me, God. And we all know the story that I had a near death. But be that as it may, in that pocket of years, that's the place where we discover our magic and our gifts, our true gifts, and the magic of who we are. But not really focusing and learning in that 7 years, that 7 years gets thrown somewhere in the rest of our life or doesn't get looked at all. Unless you're weird like me, right? And somewhere along the way, mine's been in pieces and parts. Some people might not even begin to look at theirs until in their vastly later years, because either they're embarrassed, they didn't believe in it most of their life, they were too scared, or it was just something you didn't talk about. And when I say the magic, it includes the magic of looking at your life. The real magic of looking at your life, period. Because we get so busy. Yeah, weird. I'm good. Yeah, I'm weird. I finally own my weird. I'm finally okay with my weird. For so long, I was so afraid of the gifts that I was given, I worked hard to hide them. And when you work so hard to hide gifts and things, they slip out on their own when you don't want them to. For instance, I would know things before I should know them, or I would know things before they would happen and be in just normal conversations with people, and it would slip out and it wouldn't have happened yet. And people would look at me strange, and then it would happen, and then would be like, "How did you know that?" And either I would keep some friends or people would uh, keep distance. So you begin to keep people arm's length a little bit because you're afraid if they really know, um, they won't like you, or they'll be afraid of you, or they'll think you're weird. You get the drift. But also, when I speak about magic, we become so busy trying to become something, trying to get a degree, trying to work really hard to put food on the table, trying to make X amount of money, trying to work so hard to make money to pay the bills, that we take the life out of our life. And then before we know it, so much time has passed. How much magic are we putting in our life? Not just about the gifts. How much magic have we allowed into our life? And if we have these gifts, or we sense we have these gifts, how much have we even investigated it? Or have we allowed it? Right? So in that, are we allowing ourselves to be our whole selves? Are we allowing ourselves to be our whole selves? And then step into that. Where is our faith? And I don't just mean religious faith. I mean our faith in ourselves. Faith. Our faith in ourselves, our faith in how things are going to turn out. R.C. says, people worked hard to malign my gifts, and it just made me believe in them more. And that's not good. And I'm glad that it made you believe in them more. I'm glad that you had that wherewithal. Hello, Miss Renee Rod. Hello, beautiful. It makes it hard because if you focus on something, you could build a bridge in your life to send your life in a certain direction. But if you don't have faith that certain things can occur in your life, you failed before you even started. There's no magic in disbelief. There's no magic in lack of faith. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you have faith in the sight of not knowing, if you have faith that something can happen, that you can make something occur in your life, even if you don't know how, it's going to happen. Let's say you can feel it in your body. You don't know how it's going to happen, when or where, but you have faith deep within you somewhere somehow it's going to happen. What are the odds it will happen even if there's no plan? But you have that faith and you feel it deep within you. Would you call that magical in some way? And you feel that push. And it's this feeling. It's this feeling beyond all feelings. I've had those. It's this feeling beyond all feelings. It's unexplainable. And I'll ride that tide all day long with this knowingness within me that it's going to occur. I'll bet my money on it all day long. Yes, everything you do in your daily life is like magic. Divine intervention. I've had that occur more times than I can count. And that's why you will always hear me, even though we have those crumbs, those gifts, or those things like, or they said discernment. And I've had those different pieces and parts of gifts within me. I will call myself a vessel or a conduit. And I will always be humbled by it. And I will always show gratitude. That one's huge. Gratitude is number one. Gratitude is number one. Why? I'm going to throw down a link in case anyone wants to come up. All of you are always welcome to come up to have a discussion on here. No judgment. This is your community too, and you don't have to be afraid. Do you know how afraid I was always to come up on here? Didn't want to see myself, for sure. My daughter still laughs. She goes, all these years you didn't want your picture taken. You've avoided the camera. And now you're on YouTube. That's the truth. So don't worry. You don't even have to put your picture on here if you don't want to. But just think about it for a moment. We get so caught up in a repeat of our days. Get up. I have my coffee. I check what's going on YouTube. Take care of my animals. Do a few chores. I need to start throwing exercise in there again. Girl, let me tell you. Guys, too. And I have developed a pattern. Hold on. I have started. I know you recently saw. I've started recent. I hate this ding 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 on my thing. Having a client here and there reach out, old clients. Some of them are psychotherapy. Some of them are spiritual. Reach out here and there, wanting private sessions with me. And I don't know if you know, I stopped some of it, except here and there, years before Noah passed, and had not until recently after Noah passed. And I had not gone back to the brick and mortar for private practice. Prior, because Noah's health got significantly more complicated, and Eden had had a tumor. And of course, understandably, after. You know why? Grief. But they started reaching out. Sorry, I thought I had it on mute, so if I coughed in your ear, I apologize. So, me and money have always had an issue. I'm highly educated and very spiritually gifted, and I'm not saying that to brag because it doesn't come from me. Understand that it comes from another place. And I'm super grateful about that. Super grateful. Um, but me and money have always had an issue because I used to feel like because it came from God, the whole money thing. So I was putting love donations. And people were overpaying me, in my opinion. So I had a problem with it. So I've had to struggle with that. Whereas if I were when I worked for someone else's business, like Tanner Behavioral Health, that took insurance, there was a set fee that I was out of control of. Do you understand? It was what they said to charge. So that's always an internal struggle for me. It's about how do you define your worth? And that is another spiritual dilemma that every spiritual person has. How do you define your worth? Because when you do spiritual work, there has to be balance. There has to be give and take. There has to be spiritual balance. I used to be bad about giving, and not wanting to take. Understand what I'm saying? And that computes over into when you do for others, and I'm not talking about money, I'm changing it to express to you. When you do for others, do for others, do for others, do for others, and you don't want them to do anything for you, there has to be spiritual exchange in some way. And when you have gifts of any kind, it's not about, oh, I do this for you, and now you have to do something for me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you're out in the world, and let's say you're doing a bunch of spiritual work for people, or you share your gifts and you do things. But let's say one day that you break your leg and you can't do anything for yourself. And someone comes up and says, can I bring you dinner? And you go, no, okay, I'm fine. I don't need anything. You should not do that. When they offer to bring you dinner, and you're held up with a broken leg, and they say, let me bring your dinner, you should thank them graciously and be humble and grateful. Does that make sense? How many of you have that in your personality? Where you have a hard time accepting kindness from others, but you'll do for them all day long. That's often a problem with spiritual people. How many of you have that problem? Exactly, Shelley. Me. That's me. That's me. That happens with so many spiritual people. And it's a very, very hard lesson. I have a hard problem with that. It makes me feel awful when people want to do for me. And it was a trait I grew up with. It was trained into me. It was trained into me. And it's a spiritual arrogance in a way. It's called spiritual arrogance. When you feel like you should do everything for everybody, and you don't allow in kind to let them do for you. Let me explain why. If part of their spiritual path is to do for others, hello LMS, and you don't allow them to do that for you, let's say their spiritual path is to do for others too, and you say no, and you're blocking them. How does that make them feel? How does that make them feel? And you say no, and they're trying to be kind and do for you. And you say no. So you flip it and trying to put yourself in their place. How does that make them feel? Now, if you know the person really well and they're manipulative, it's okay to say no. But try to flip it, and if they're being kind and they want to be giving, just think about how does it make them feel. Arseny, let's go up to Marie. She says, I was until I had to rely on others to help me physically. Yeah. You know, I've been in nursing homes before when I've gone to visit somebody, and there have been people up there with no family and nobody to come visit them. And there's a lot of very old people that are old school that were raised or trained, you don't rely on anyone. You only rely on yourself. And that's a mindset. But it used to break my heart when no one was up there for them. So I would stop and go spend time with them or do for them because it would tear me up that no one was there for them. And they would be like, no, 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 no. So I had to do it in a loving way and kind of flip the script in a way where they wouldn't feel like, that mindset mentality that, no, you don't let anybody do anything for you. Arseny says, I used to be like that. Now I'm more careful and read people's intentions first. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's a hard one to think about because I never thought about how I was making that person feel by not letting them do something when maybe it's part of their path. You know what I mean? LMS says, I have that problem. I can be sick as a dog, and if someone needs me, I'm there for them. However, I have great difficulty accepting help from others. Yes. But we have to think about it. If it makes them feel better and they want to be there for us, we need to let them. And isn't that what friendship is for? I mean, really, isn't that what friendship is for? And isn't that how we make connections with other people? Really. And I also want to take a moment too. Have you ever really sat and looked at yourself inside and thought about maybe what are some of your spiritual gifts? Or what are some of your gifts that you thought you had, not just spiritual, but gifts, creative gifts that maybe you felt passionate about, that you laid down many years ago? Are you never explored? Are you just really enjoyed it? You just laid them down, never to pick them back up ever again. And now you are here in your life, and I want you to look at your life right now. Maybe some of you are doing those things, but I want you to look at your life now and writing. And why aren't you taking the opportunity Maybe some of them were physical and you can't do that now. Understand. But what are some of the ones that were not, or some of the ones that you 100% could be doing that you are not doing, that you are not taking the opportunity to do, that you could be doing right now? Arseny, do you write any now? I would like to know. Because there's probably some stories in you that could touch a lot of people, or that could influence a lot of people, or inspire a lot of people, or pique curiosity and creativity or interest in a lot of people. You're not writing. What would it take to get you writing again? So, if you picked up a journal and promised yourself, because that's what it would take, because I have the feeling, Arseny, when you promise another person you're going to do something, you do it. So I have a feeling it would take you promising me or somebody else, but I would like for you to promise yourself that you might write 1 page a day. 1 page. That's it. That's the minimum of what you'd have to do. 1 page on a journal or on your computer. Because I have a feeling some really cool stuff would come out of you starting that again. And I would love to read it. Just a gut feeling. And I have another feeling, Arseny, that it would go a little further than you think out of your hand. Just a feeling. LMS says, I used to paint. Good. Do you have my email, Arseny? That may be a way to do it. Write me a page a day. As long as it's not, it stays or above, you know. LMS says, I used to paint. However, yes, send it to this email because I see this email more often. I need to change it on my thing. I used to paint. However, where did it go? Rather than painting, I took up jewelry design and semi-precious stones. So are you doing that now, LMS? And do you feel passionate about it? Arseny, when you write, do you prefer to write with a pen or type it? So LMS, are you selling any of that? Do you sell any of it? Or you just do it for the fun? Paranormal says, I don't have much talent. I just post a lot of paranormal stuff on IG for fun. I post one lady a night. It's based on a true story. I see that and I love it a lot. But paranormal, I don't believe you about the talent. Let me tell you why. Your belief barometer is like, let's say this is a 10 and this is 0. Your belief barometer is still kind of like this. You do have some talent. You have not explored it enough. in my opinion, just my opinion, just a little more exploration. And I have a feeling that you do. For one thing, you read tarot. Do you not? So, RC, if you like the pen and your talent comes out the most there, just saying, you only sell commission pieces. So that's pretty cool, LMS. And if you have, well, I wish you had a site, because if you had a site, I'd post it on here, LMS. Just saying. Just saying. Marie Crum, me too, LMS. I was a graphic designer for almost 40 years. Because of health issues, all I do now is crafts. Marie Crum, do you feel passionate about your crafts? And what kind of crafts do you do? That is what I'd like to know. LMS, they sound beautiful and they're one of a kind and you don't want to part with them and they're sitting on a shelf. I understand that because I have a few pieces, but 80 cents, girl, 80. You might want to consider thinning that out a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. And I have started a Facebook page on Dear Dana, a Dear Dana Facebook page. And we could put a couple on there if you wanted. And if you wanted, even for Christmas, even if it was just for a couple, maybe you could put a couple on there, auction them off for charity. Maybe that. Just a thought. A charity of your choice. Just a thought. Just for Christmas. You don't have to, but just a thought. Charity of your choice. I want you guys to listen. Next Thursday, I have met a lady, and she's coming on here to speak, and I want as much word out. Yeah, it's just a thought. I'm sorry, no pressure, no pressure. Or maybe I would say you could make one, but you might want to keep that one too, girl. Sorry, I didn't mean to put pressure. She's coming Thursday. I know there's not a ton of people in here tonight. Maybe they didn't know what the topic was really about, or maybe they're watching a ball game. But anyway, we share in the fact that we both lost children. But 4 years ago at Christmas, her daughter, I don't know if it was a Valium or Xanax, she had purchased one, and unfortunately, it was laced with fentanyl, and she passed away. And she and her husband were able to go and have a law created called Alex Law about pills being laced with fentanyl. And she's coming here to talk about the situation and spread awareness. So, her daughter has been sending messages to me, but her daughter's very strong spirit, beautiful, beautiful girl. But I just want the word out because I would like to see as many people as possible come to the show. If anyone just heard me, I don't know. It sounds like your jewelry is really beautiful, LMS. LMS, are you on Facebook under LMS? I'd like to look. Are you on Facebook under LMS? See all of these gifts that you have? And I can't wait to see some of Arsenie's writing. Renee Rod, are you still here? Or did you skip on out? I don't know if she's still here. And I just have a feeling Willow, I say Willow, Paranormal is more talented than she gives herself credit for. Leia's one-of-a-kind jewelry. Okay. We skipped over that last 7 years from 21 to 28 of spiritual development. Within us, within every single one of us, it's just not these external gifts that we have put down as we gotten older. Each and every one of us have some degree of a spiritual gift. Arsene calls his discernment. Renee Rod is definitely empathic. I bet you Marie is empathic. LMS, do you feel like you're empathic or more? Shelley tends to have the gift of empathy and healing, energy healing. And she and I will work on that and talk about that more. If we all were to look within ourselves, there are more abilities, whether you're empathic, than people even realize. Hello, Dr. Payne Nestor. How are you? We are talking about spiritual gifts and also gifts we put down. You know, we all thought we were magic as kids that we just kind of put away on a shelf as we became busy adults. That we tend to put away on a shelf. That we let the magic in our lives just disappear. Ooh, a Hyoka empath. Very, very empathic, but can be very a complicated empath, so to speak. Very highly sensitive in a difficult way sometimes. Arseny. Hello, Gourmet Thursday. Thank you for being here. This is a very calm live tonight. I think a lot of people may be watching football games. They may be watching football games. I may have to change my Saturdays. I don't know, since football season's in. I did not experience football season last year because of the pandemic, the whatever. I'm not monetized, so I don't really know if I need to be so careful with my words, but knowing things without knowing how you know it, yeah. Having the foresight to know it. Prophetic. A Hyoka empath is a highly it's a highly complicated empath. Let me look up the meaning. I know what it is, but it's hard to explain right off the bat. A Hyoka empath is somebody that sees the world differently and goes against convention. And they behave a little differently sometimes. They say that signs that you might be a Hyoka. You prefer to be alone despite your strong social skills. Sometimes empaths feel so much emotion coming from their environment that it's difficult for them to modulate how they're feeling. You are frank with people. You're creative and caring. That's not enough science. I saw a video about it one time. It's the strongest type of empath. It's known in Native American culture as the sacred clown. Whoa, the sacred clown. Open people's minds to new perspectives by acting as a mirror and poking satirical fun at the situation. Making light of serious circumstances allow people to see themselves in different ways and begin to heal rather than be stuck in a wallowing point of view. You're an empath. Opposites and mirrored images are an innate part of you. While empaths are identified based on social and personality characteristics, hyokas can be further disguised by some physical characteristics. Hyoka empaths are often born breech and are left-handed or dyslexic. All of these qualities are reversed or mirrored to the norm. Hyokas mirror other people's emotions to bring them to awareness of how they are acting. You prefer to be alone despite your strong social skills. Hyokas, in particular, often find themselves in isolations. Their jarring words and behaviors can be too off putting to many people, leaving Hyokas on the fringe of society. Hyokas provoke deep seated problems and insecurities because what is ignored cannot be healed. You are frank with people. You are creative. You are caring. And in your creativity, let's see what it says. Hyoka's creativity will not only push people to evolve, but it creates opportunities for romance, adventure, and beauty. Being invited into Hyoka's world is like finding a key to a wonderland. Their unlimited imagination and fearlessness of being different open up so many unique experiences. Well, I'm dyslexic and should have been left handed. RC says he tells it how it is. Now, a normal empath can, will go into a situation and they will feel other people's emotions. And if they do not put a shield around themselves, a shield of protection, I call mine a shield of white light. I will do a prayer and ask my guardian angels for protection around me, like a cocoon of white light, before I go into a situation where I can feel people's emotions, but I will not sponge them up as my own. Because if you're an empath, you need to do that. Otherwise, you'll soak them up as a sponge and you won't be able to differentiate what is your emotions and feelings and what belongs to somebody else. And you can end up getting depressed or sad or happy or whatever, and you may not know where it's coming from. So, if that's okay, Willow, so if you create a shield around yourself of protection, you can still feel what's going on with everybody else, but you won't soak it up, which will give you better insight into people and it will be more like a gift. You get what I'm saying? And you'll be, I hate my stomach, I hope you can't hear it. And you'll be able to dignify where it's coming from. And it'll be able to give you more signals about who to get closer to, who to stay away from, who needs help, etc. But you will always, before you leave a house, have to do a little prayer and imagine. What I do is I imagine like golden wings around myself, shielding myself in a cocoon of white light every single time I leave my home. Gourmet says, I just soaked up my friend's negative energy all day. I was bothered. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me ask you, gourmet, do you have selenite at your house? Selenite. Or do you have where you can smudge yourself? One of those two things. If you don't have, okay, do you have Epsom salt where you can take an Epsom salt bath? Do you have Epsom salt where you can take an Epsom salt bath? If you have any Epsom salt, you can do that and kind of clean it off. She doesn't have any sage where she can smudge. Yeah, if she has sea salt, she can do it. Um, it's helpful in a bath. She probably doesn't have sage. She doesn't have Epsom salt. Okay, if you have Epsom salt in a hot bath, that is one way to clear that energy. But it will be very, very helpful to you, and you can get it on Amazon or eBay or a spiritual site. I get mine eBay easily to get selenite. It doesn't have to be cleansed. It's very helpful. I know it sounds weird, but you can feel it. You can feel it easily. When you get, and you can get the selenite sticks. They look like fiber optics almost, but you can take it and move it over your body. You can literally feel it. And I'm a psychotherapist, and it sounds crazy, but you can literally feel it and cleanse your energy like immediately when you've been around that negative energy. But if you will do like a little small meditation and imagine a shield of white light around your body, if you do energy work, and it's very scientific and I teach it on this channel, but I do little sessions with people individually too. But if you do energy work and block yourself with a shield of white light, and we do energy work here all the time, but you will block yourself from your friend's energy like that. Energy's a real thing. I mean, we all have energy. We resonate at different levels. You can take a little scientific box that you can get from Radio Shack or whatever and see what decibels you are going off at. Oh, you can go barefoot on the grass too and cleanse your energy from your friend. It's called grounding. It's a scientific thing. You can go ground yourself. But you can get selenite, different shapes of selenite on eBay. The oils, yeah, you can get oils and stuff, but scientific stuff, just go what direction you feel. But negative people, especially if I'm going to be around someone that tends to be negative, just a half glass empty person, girl, I put my email up there. You can DM me on IG too. I'm Dear Dana 3. I if some of my clients knew how spiritual stuff I did, as a psychotherapist, but anyway, you have to sometimes. Some people are just, they resonate at a lower level. It's heavy. You can feel it when you look, when you walk in a room. If there has been stuff going on or people who have been arguing, they can be quiet when you walk in that room and you can feel it without them saying a word. It's true. We all know it. We all know it. They can be quiet the minute you walk in and you can feel the depth of that energy. If something really happy has been going on, people can be quiet when you walk in and you can feel the lift in that energy. You can feel the lift. You can walk in an empty older house and you can feel the difference in each room of the energy. It's a thing. It's a thing. If you walk in a brand new house that was just built, new development, and then you go next door and you walk in a 200-year-old house, you will feel the difference. You will feel the difference. Or you walk in a convenience store versus what's something, just a little business office next door that's just used for what's something that's not busy. You get my feeling. An office that's a private office that's not busy. Energy's a real thing. And you feel it when you're around new people. Let's say someone's trying to set you up on a blind date. Let's say someone looks really hot. And this guy's sort of medium to hot, right? And you go, ooh, I can't wait to be around a hot guy. And I'll give the medium hot guy a chance. And then you get around the really hot guy, and then all of a sudden it's like, wah, wah, wah. The energy's off. It's not quite there. And you get around the medium hot guy, and all of a sudden there's that spark. You know what I'm saying? You get me? You feel me? That's what it's about. It's that energy. It's that feeling. And have you ever been around somebody? It's not that not that attract. Dana, rewind that MS mouth. Not that attractive. But then there's something in the energy. There's just there's that feeling. And all of a sudden, they're getting more and more attractive. And all of a sudden, they look different to you. There's something about it. And it may be, too, that you have this gift that you weren't aware of. That a little more fine-tuned than other people. Like Arseny was talking about. Maybe you have a better discernment. Maybe it's a little more fine-tuned than other people, and you didn't realize it. You know, it's like I talked about earlier, and we've talked about earlier. When you're a kid, if you have some of these gifts, maybe you think everybody's got them, and you don't think anything about it till you get older and you realize they don't. You assume. And then some people get all caught up in the jobs and the stress and the work and this and responsibilities and all of that stuff. And they never do the work from 21 to 28 that we should have been doing to go in. We did the body, mind, physical, what was it? Mind, body, and we skipped the spirit. Mind, body, spirit, emotional. We didn't do the spirit. We skipped the 21 to 28. Somehow, when we were all becoming human beings, the chunk from 21 to 28, like I said, got thrown out the window. So we didn't get to do that self-discovery. So all of us are finding out the hard way, and sometimes late or too late, there were these little gifts in us. And I would like to push people in this channel, and I'm kind of disappointed our regular crew didn't show up tonight, but I would like to push people on this channel to reinvestigate what your gifts are. What your gifts are. Are you in or are you out? Are you in or are you out? I'm in. Do you believe in yourself? Do you have faith in yourself? Do you have faith to jump in and discover maybe some more things about yourself blind? Good, gourmet. Let's go in blind. Let's have faith that there's something more in you that you didn't realize. How about that? Let's have faith and belief that there's something more in you that you didn't even know. Excuse me, because I happen to think there is. I want you to go with blind faith and just dig a little deeper. I know you do, Marie. I know you do. There's something in you, albeit spiritual, creative. There's something in you. Good job, Arseny. There's something a little bit deeper that all of you didn't look at or all of you put up that you went, oh, I'm not looking there. I would be willing to wager. I would be willing to wager. And I bet you now, if you just took a minute and closed your eyes and took that deep breath, really deep breath, I want you to do it, please. Inhale deeply to the count of 4 and hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to look deeply within you. Put your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Good. Blow out to the count of 4. Good. This time with your eyes closed, I want you to pretend like you're looking up to your forehead. Inhale to the count of 4. Like you're looking in your brain. There's something extra in there. There's like an extra Christmas gift in there. Inhale deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like an extra gift in there that you're looking for left behind. Exhale to the count of 4. 1, 2. Blow it all out. 3, 4. Excellent. Still looking up. Like you're looking up in the attic of your soul. Inhale deeply to the count of 4. There's a lot of light in there. You left an extra gift that you were given by the Creator. Inhale deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Look around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale very hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time. I want you to imagine you're looking in the attic of your brain. There is a special supernatural gift in there that is yours and only yours. There is a brilliant, blinding white light shining on that supernatural gift that has your name written all over it. I want your eyes looking up in the attic of your brain, that blinding, beautiful white light. Inhale very deeply to the count of 4. Inhale now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you exhale very hard to the count of 4, I want you to open that gift and notice the first name of that gift that you see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very hard. And I'm cutting the cords. I want you to relax, loose and limp. Loose and limp, owning that gift that's deep, deep, deep within you. Yours and only yours. Excellent. Very good. Very good. And I want you to put your finger on your forehead. Put your finger on your forehead right now. Just take a very deep breath, very conscious deep breath. And I want you to own and say to yourself, I own this supernatural gift that I call, what do you call it? I own this supernatural gift that I call. Another deep breath. I believe in this supernatural gift. Excellent. I believe in this supernatural gift. Finger still on your forehead. I have faith that I can grow and perfect this supernatural gift that is mine and only mine. I have faith that I can perfect this supernatural gift that is mine and only mine. I have passion in it. I have excitement. I cannot wait. Take another deep breath, very deep, very deep. Inhale and hold it. And as you exhale that breath, I want you to imagine that breath is filled with that divine white light and it's wrapping around this supernatural gift that is yours and connecting it to your heart. Very, very good. Good, 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 good. I want you to open your eyes and just take a deep breath and relax. Good job. Excellent. Good. I love this community so much. I believe in everyone that comes in here. And I just, in my gut, in my heart, feel like this is a group of people that have these deep-seated gifts, that have big hearts, empathic, that still have an urge to make a difference with people they encounter. And I feel like you have these gifts that need to be dug back up. It is my intention, and I feel like my journey, to help people open up this 7 years of their human development that need to be looked at, that you deserve to have in your life. Thank you, Arseny. Thank you, Gourmet. And I'm looking to dig as much of mine back up because, look, again, I didn't want to lose my son, but he, and my daughter, of course, that's here, but he was one of my greatest teachers. And there is a reason that I have seen and learned as much as I have. And I've had some highly irregular and wild spiritual gifts open up, not just before he came, but after he has come. And I do not think it is right or I'm supposed to sit on them. I'm not supposed to sit on them. They open for a reason, and I've come to the understanding that certain things open up for me for certain people. It's sort of like if one person comes for I see has a broken leg, I'm supposed to help them with that broken leg with a certain gift. Does that make sense? And if someone comes and they have a broken heart, I'm supposed to help get another tool out, another tool to help with that broken heart. And all of you have certain tools still within you that are supposed to come out, whether it be Arseny's writing or another person's or LS's jewelry making, or someone's graphic design, or someone's music, or someone's ability to help someone's pain. There are more things within all of you, and it makes it magic. It makes it magic when you're able to help and connect with other people. And there's a spiritual give and take. So if you're helping someone and then when you need help the next time, they want to mow your grass or bring your food, let them. Let them. Let them. Do you understand? Because that's what that's their gift. That's their gift. That's what they're able to do for you. That's the point of tonight. That's the point of tonight. Yes, that's the point of tonight. It almost makes me want to cry, but that's the point of tonight. And paranormal, if what you can do for somebody is do a tarot reading or support them with your kind words, that is your magic. Do you understand? You said you don't have any special gifts, but yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So you can't say you don't. You can't say you don't. So I'm asking all of you to, to walk forward fearlessly in your faith, in blind faith. I'm asking you to walk in your blind faith. Step into it. Get out of the box of comfort and see what else is inside of you. Because there's a reason. There's a reason. There is more that is calling to you than where you are standing right now. I promise you. I want you to quiet your mind, meditate for 5 minutes, even if you have to find a guided meditation. I'm going to do a guided meditation next week. I want to be able to do things just for this group. I can't wait. I'm going to find a way just to start doing it on the Facebook page or something. Like I said, I start looking at the Patreon thing. I don't know that I like the Patreon thing, so I may do the private thing on Facebook just for everyone that comes to Dear Dana, just for our channel, just for our community. I may just do it private for all of us, but just even if you have to find a guided meditation or quiet your mind for 5 minutes, I want you to go inside of yourself because there is something calling to you. There's something calling to you. But anyway, on that note, do you all have any questions? Is there anybody that would like to come up? I don't care if you hide your face. Just don't show me anything bad. One time I let somebody come up and he showed me his eggplant. Tried to act like he was busy and showed me his eggplant. Yeah, I scattered. I didn't know what to do. My daughter blurred him out and left my reaction. But yeah, I don't want to see none of that stuff. No, ma'am. Yeah, I was trying to tell Willow about spirit writing. And again, it's Halloween month. If there's anything, any kind of topic you guys want to learn about that's out of, the norm, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. I went to a different Spirit Box app on my phone tonight. I did prayers before. I thanked them. I covered myself with light. I did prayers walking out to close the thing down. It was a different one. asked him about Brian and stuff. I have feelings about the whole Brian thing. I think he's going to end up not on this earth before going to jail and going through court, in my opinion. In my opinion. I wish it wouldn't be that way because we want answers for the Gabby Petito thing. But I just, in my opinion, um, I have felt it from the get go. I feel like, this is my opinion. I feel like he's still in Florida. I feel like he's been island hopping and kind of running around that area. I feel like his parents have found a way to satchel up food, put it at a special spot over there where he knew at night he could go grab it and then go take off hiking again. That would satisfy him running out of supplies. And he sort of has been playing cat and mouse, but it's going to get to the point that he can't handle it anymore. He has a gun, and he's not going to go to jail. He can't handle jail. Yeah, they are, but still, there's a way that they can get to somebody that can take it. Um, he's not gonna be able to handle jail. Not gonna want to go to court. Not gonna want to go through all that. There's gonna, yeah, I don't, yeah, I won't be surprised. Soon it will be a Dunzo thing. Not long in the future. And I think ultimately, mom and dad semi sort of expect that. You know, it can't go on forever like that. So, anywho, be that as it may, you guys can ask me anything. So I put things, I'm like, you can come up, you can ask me anything. People get so quiet. They come up on everybody's channel. Nobody hardly comes up on here, and I don't know why. Somebody tell me why. I will tell you something funny though. I was watching uh, Ixmail, I think it was the other day, and I like Popcorn Planet, but I was watching Ixmail the other day, and I had some information, and I wanted to talk to him for a minute, so I had a little time, so I called in, and he took my call, and I got on there. Let me tell you what's funny. The chat went a little crazy for a minute, y'all. They thought I was Nancy Grace under another name, and they were calling me Nancy Grace on Xanax, Nancy Grace on Valium. Nancy Grace has been drinking wine because she's too calm. Nancy Grace is on under a pseudonym. Nancy Grace, I don't know. They were saying everything. Nancy Grace is too calm. That's got to be Nancy Grace. It was hilarious. Who is it? Oh, Marie. Hey, Marie.
Hello, could
Are you?
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Did you
you.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't know if these good because I didn't know if my earphone thing would work.
I am so happy you're up.
Well, I feel bad nobody comes up to see you.
I don't know why they don't. Used to they did.
I don't either, 'cause you're such a nice person.
Well, thank you for coming up. How are
I'd
you?
have my camera on, but I don't look so good. I'm already in bed.
Oh, that's okay. How are you feeling?
Oh, it's been a rough couple days, but I'll survive. It's my cross
Um,
to bear, unfortunately.
well, we're planning a healing session soon as I hear from Shoeless One. I have not heard from him in a couple of days, which is a little concerning to me. I usually hear from him.
He was on your live on Wednesday.
Yeah, and he had to go to a funeral, but usually he drops me a note.
Oh,
So,
I hate to hear that,
yeah. But you are one of
especially
our,
with especially with this virus.
yeah. But I love seeing you come to the channel tonight. I'm figuring a lot of people must be watching ball games or going to ball games.
Yeah, none of the regulars that are here all the time are on tonight.
Yeah, it's quite unusual.
Maybe they're celebrating Halloween.
Yeah, it could be going to parties or whatever. And Willow says, I'm chasing the kids around. I would go in, but they're everywhere at the moment. She's got twin toddlers.
Oh, God bless her.
I
She
know,
got her
right?
hands full.
She definitely does. And I
I'm
always
sure they're
appreciate you.
cute.
Yeah, I saw them a long time ago when they were about two or so, 18 months maybe.
Aw, I love little kids.
Me too. But I greatly appreciate you coming on for this topic tonight.
Well, I had a question earlier.
Yeah?
When you were talking about gifts, could they be inherited?
Yeah, they can be.
Because my grandmother, my mother's mother, was very, I don't, I call it psychic.
Yeah,
She just knew stuff. Like, I remember as a kid, she would tell me that she always knew when somebody died because they came to see her before they left this world.
yeah,
Now, my mother didn't understand it at all, and I have that gift too. I mean, I don't see people before they die, but I know things. I told you my husband, the first few times it happened and then it came true, he
yeah.
was like spooked out. But it's, and my family thinks I'm crazy, my brothers and sisters, because they're all engineers or math people and I'm creative, so it's totally opposite. So we don't fit together right, but they think I'm crazy. They just ignore me if I tell them something's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and they
Well,
don't care if it does.
it's because it comes from a different side of the brain. I mean, I
Right.
believe the right side of the brain is creative, and the left brain. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. The right side of the brain is creative. It's right brain
I can't
creative.
remember. My dyslexia shows with this which is which.
Yeah,
I,
the
I
right
don't
brain.
remember.
It is the right brain is creative, and the left brain is more um, structural and scientific. So people that do the jobs your siblings do tend not to believe it. And people that are right brain, Thursday, I think that it's 5 o'clock Thursday. I'll put up a reminder about Thursday when the lady is coming, about her daughter died um, because of the person put fentanyl in there, but she's had an experience with her daughter in a dream too. It's very interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic, but anyway, right brain is
No,
very
that's fine.
creative, and the left brain tends to be, the people that are architects and do math and stuff like that. So they tend not to want to believe that. What you'll find is people that are more right brained are the ones that tend to be psychic and have gifts and stuff. So
Interesting.
that's what causes that, divide, for lack of better. But they will tend to believe you more when you have these experiences and they do come true. It's just hard for them because they don't personally have the experience, you know?
Right. Well,
And
my
it
mother would say to me, excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over. My mother, when her mother was dying, I said to her, and I was in my 40s then, I said, she's going to start seeing people that have died, who have already passed, like her son, my dad, her husband, my grandfather, um, and my mother just gave me this funny look, and I said to her, "You don't believe me, do you?" And she said, "It's not that I don't believe you, I just don't understand."
right. And
And
what you go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, no.
I don't even remember what I was gonna
Sorry.
say.
I'm sorry. But what you'll find too, people with Alzheimer's, for instance, um, oftentimes they have one foot on both sides. One foot here in reality and another foot in the spiritual realm. So they will go ahead and see people that have already passed over.
Well, she always did, but she went into a coma, but and she had 12 children, she had 56 grandchildren. She would hold her great grandchildren and say, if I could still be having babies, I would. And then on the other side, she'd say, but God knew what he was doing when he gave young people children.
Yeah,
But she did see, well, the woman who helped take care of her towards the end told me that the day she went into the coma, she was awake that morning and just giggling and laughing like a little kid.
yeah,
And she saw her and went in and said to her, who are you talking to? And she goes, you know. And she said, no, I don't. And she goes, the angels. And she was looking out the window. And I know I almost died in 2005. I needed
yeah.
my gallbladder out. And I didn't have an experience like you had, but I did have that where I knew I was dying. And what had happened was we were living in Illinois at the time, and we had only lived there a year and a half. And I had never been in this hospital before because I lived my whole life in Pittsburgh up until that point. And we, at the time, I didn't know that the operation room was in the basement. And that morning is when I was seeing the white light, and I was looking for my dad or my cousin who just passed away the year before. And I didn't see anybody. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I guess I'm okay. And I was really drugged up because I was in a lot of pain. So I didn't say anything to anybody. But when they took me down to the pre-op, I was in the basement, and I found that out 2 years later when I had went in for a hysterectomy, and I actually walked on myself. I was not capable of walking this time, but
Yeah.
there was this big picture window with no curtains on it, and the light was so bright. It was like looking outside at the trees. I could see them blowing in the wind, and um, I almost said to the nurse, could you please pull that blind? I can't see. And I'm glad I didn't say it because there wasn't a window there. We were in the basement. And it took 2 years for me to find that out. So I didn't realize I was looking into heaven until then. And a friend of mine said to me, "You saw the breath of God by the way the wind, the trees were just blowing and blowing really hard. It wasn't. Now, we did live in Illinois where there were a lot of tornadoes, but this was, it was a nice day as far as I remember. At least what I was seeing out the window, there was not raining or storms or anything. So it was just interesting.
Wow.
And then when I came to, my husband was at the bed and he said to me, "You know, you almost died," because the doctor told him I wouldn't have made it through the day. And I said, "I know." And he couldn't believe it that I knew that. But it happens.
Yeah, it does. And there's a lot of, people reporting different things.
Well,
It
I
just
think we all have a sense of knowing stuff. It's whether we tap into it or not.
exactly. And that's what I was trying. That was my point of tonight. Because people, it's like we're afraid to believe in the magic of life.
Hmm.
And what a waste. What a waste. We get so drugged down into the everyday trudging. Why do people so quickly want to hold on to all things negative so quickly? People go to the negative place. Like recently, I said, when you think back on your life and your memories, do you go back to the negative memories quicker or do you go back to the positive? And most people said negative. What a waste, right? You can retrain
Yeah.
your brain to go back to the positive ones.
I think I go both because
Yeah,
my dad died when I was 9, and he died very suddenly. He got leukemia and was dead 6 days after he was diagnosed. So we never got a chance to say goodbye to him, and that's always been hard on me. My grandfather was a doctor, my mother's father, and I think he's the one that kept us away. It was 1966, and you just didn't talk about things back then like you do
yeah,
now. And that was my first experience, well, that I remember of having these sort of psychic things because I knew he was going to die, but I didn't think God would take him from us. But I knew the last time I saw him, I would never see him again. And I started crying and I hid my face from my mother because I didn't want her to know that I was crying. And
yeah.
but she told me when I was a kid, and I have no memory of this, so it was before I was 3, that I had an imaginary friend. And my father's mother, we lived with her, and her name was Winifred, and everybody called her Winnie. And that was my friend's imaginary friend's name, Winnie. So my mother thought I heard that name and thought it was a nice name, so I just made up an imaginary friend. I always thought it wasn't imaginary, so I
She wasn't.
I mean, when she told me that story, pardon me,
She wasn't imaginary.
what did you say? I'm sorry.
Your friend was not
I don't think
imaginary.
she was.
No, she wasn't.
Not to me, I don't think she was. My mother thought she was. Because again, my mother didn't believe in that stuff, so.
That's a problem. Kids,
But it's interesting.
the imaginary friends that kids have are not imaginary. They're
Yeah,
kid
that's what you
spirits.
said not that's what you said not too long ago. I often wondered if it was my angel or something. I don't know.
I mean, it
But
can be,
it's
but
interesting.
oftentimes it's sort of like little children spirit guides, so to speak. and
Right.
sometimes it can be children um, that, how do I say it, may be sort of stuck, but yeah,
It could be that too. Because that
yeah,
story I told you about that ghost that I I knew before I moved in that house that there was going to be a ghost in that house. And I found out from a neighbor that a man died in the bedroom. And I told you how my alarm was going off and it wasn't plugged in, and my phone was
yeah,
ringing in the middle of the night, and there was no, I mean, it was hooked up, but it was a weird ring. It wasn't a normal phone ring like we used to have 20 years ago. And when that all happened, I talked to my stepfather about it, and he's the one that told me to pray for them, which I
yeah.
did. And I kept on telling him to go towards the light. And then I found out, I was telling the neighbors, that's when I found out he died in the house, and that he his wife was still alive, but she had just passed away. I told him that, and he was gone that quick.
Uh, a lot of times when people first pass away, the first 3 days they will freshly be hanging around. But up to 2 to 3 weeks, however long it takes to have the celebration of life, they will often be hanging around. So to sort of connect with people they love, or depending on what occurred. So,
Except my
unfortunately,
dad was around. I'm sorry, there's a delay on this. I'm sorry, Dana.
no, 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 it's okay. No
I keep
apologies.
on interrupting.
No worries.
But
It happens.
but when my dad passed away, I swear he stayed around until I married my husband. And I was older when I got married. I was 46. So I know in our wedding video, there was a white orb that was not like other dust. It was circling around us, and it went around us 3 times. And I think that's when he left me, which was fine. He knew I was going to be okay with my
Wow.
husband. And and I truly knew that I felt him walk down the aisle with me, with my stepfather, and I felt him leave. And he comes once in a while, but not that often. I feel my mother more now. Well, I told you about it when she came here as a cardinal,
Yeah.
and that was really unbelievable because my mother loved to sing. She had a good voice, she could sing, and that bird was sitting on my deck singing its little heart out like I've never seen. That was the first time I saw him. And that was the day I came home from the hospital after that last surgery I had. And she would call me every day because she died 8 weeks after a surgery I had had 9 months earlier, and call me every day. How you feeling? Even though she was dying, she was worried about me. So I knew that was her because the insurance didn't want to cover that surgery. And well, I'm Catholic, so I would ask them to please ask God to get this insurance stuff straightened out so I could have that surgery. So, and I know that they fixed it for me.
Muted myself. If I didn't have y'all to tell me to
Okay, I
unmute,
thought it was me.
what would I do if I did not have y'all to tell me to unmute myself? Elma said, I had a ghost friend named Toomey until I was 5 years old. He disappeared when my grandmother passed. And then many years later, when I was in my 20s, a medium told me about him by name and told me he left because my grandmother took his place of watching over me. LMS, do you remember your experience with your ghost friend? Do you happen to remember it at all? I mean, to you, was your ghost friend in 3D to you? Do you recall? Would you like to come up and tell? Or no? That is so cool. I mean, in fact, some of the names the little children have of their ghost friends, that alone should tell you they are real. Yeah, call in LMS.
I agree.
And you insist that your mother. See, that is another key. Kids will insist their parents place another sitting, another chair, that they be careful not to run into them. That should tell the parents it is a spirit, that it is real to their child, that it is not an imagination. Oh, you're on your desktop without a speaker. These things legit happen. LMS, when you had this ghost friend, do you recall what your communication was like? Was it more in thought form? Now, you probably spoke out loud to your ghost friend, but when they communicated to you, do you recall what the communication was like? My mother would do it because she knew I saw him, but father would fight with her and tell him that there was something wrong with me, which there absolutely was not. Because again, I will tell you, up until about the age of 6 years old, sometimes five, kids naturally will have the gifts and they will utilize them freely. They will utilize them freely. All children, some more than others, because they haven't been tainted or blocked by the world. Remember in the beginning when I said all little kids think everything's magic? They haven't been tainted by the world. Everything's magic. They don't question it. They have free will, faith, belief. It's wonderful, believable. It's magic. So they are open to all of this stuff. They don't have to question it. So if a spirit kid comes to play with them, they're not all freaked out or weaked out or tainted or whatever. The spirit kid can just kind of come on in and play. And so they have the imaginary friends, which are not imaginary. How cool is that? But after about that age, it gets learned out of us. That's when the heaviness of the world begins to happen.
Mhm.
We get the stress. We learn lessons from our parents. We get the rules. We have school. We begin to have to learn about the world. So it kind of gets taught out of us. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what's going on in our lives, a lot of us keep the gifts. Oh, you won't be in because you're not feeling motivated or inspired? Renee Rod, are you on Instagram? Are you feeling blue? Do you need a real hug? Um, anyway, that just threw me. I'm sorry. Anyway, what was I saying? I gotta back it up now. I can't think. I saw that comment from Renee and I was like, not expecting it.
You were talking about how children aren't a part of
There,
the world yet. You didn't use
yeah,
those words, but
yeah. So when it gets taught out of them, there are few people that get to keep it, keep the gift, depending on what's happening in their life. But because of judgment in the world, they either hide it and they have to learn to utilize it later, depending on the kind of parents they have or what's going on in their life. And some of them going to healing professions in order to be able to utilize the gifts more freely without judgment. So you have your doctors, your counselors, your firemen, and you'll find a lot of those people have gifts behind the scenes. And that's the truth. So it's a tricky thing. And a lot of people that are empathic, if they don't learn how to utilize that gift, will end up with depression, anxiety, certain tendencies, or they will abuse things. So it's a big mixed bag of mess. LMS a month ago, before my second stint in the hospital, my cat Alaska, who passed less than a year ago, was crying near my head as I was lying down in bed. The next day, my blood test came back. The doctor told me to go to the emergency room immediately because my liver was failing. My enzymes were off the roof. Oh my goodness. Bless your heart. It was like you got a warning. So
well,
scary.
animals are they're very sensitive. They don't have the guards up like we do.
But that cat had passed away. So it was his
Oh, I can't read.
spirit cat. Yeah. It's weird. Sometimes I will
Oh, wow.
feel certain pets that have passed, but more so, um, we will get visited from our child that has passed.
Right.
Yep, Alaska came to warn him from the other side.
Oh,
So,
wow.
are things? I'm hoping things are more stable now. LMS, are they? Yeah, spiritual familiars. Are they more stable? I'm hoping and praying. Renee said she is in uh, therapy for anxiety for public speaking. Renee, doing this isn't about you having to come up, okay? Doing this little personal challenge is not about you having to come up on here, just so you know. It's just about doing it for yourself. It'll be
I'm scared
okay.
to death of I'm scared to death of public speaking too. That's why it took me so long to come up and I've never done this before.
But Renee, I can do hypnosis to help you with that. I can do hypnosis to help you with public speaking, anxiety, Marie and Renee.
That's good to know. I think
Yeah,
mine is from being dyslexic and being made fun of as a kid.
yeah. And, that's the other thing. So many of our fears and things that bother us way into adulthood goes all the way back to being little kids.
Absolutely.
Bless your heart, LMS. I am so sorry you are having to go through all of that stuff. It's so hard on the body, prednisone is. We all have to go through so much junk just to get our health balanced and straight. But anyway, I guess I'm going to start wrapping it up. I want to let all of you know, take a deeper look inside yourself. Push yourself a little further into your faith. You do have a gift inside that is waiting to come out, that you stuffed down inside of you, that you didn't get the opportunity to open up, whether it be creative or spiritual. That if you open it up at this stage of your life, it is only going to bless you, but it's also going to allow you to connect and help other people. I am challenging you to look deep in yourself, deep within yourself. But I'm also here to let you know I'm here to support you. I am here to support you. You know where to find me. Of course, you can find me here, and you can find me on Instagram at Dear Dana3. You can find me on the Dear Dana page on Facebook. It's sort of empty. I created it a long time ago and didn't do anything with it, but you can find me there. But I am here to help you. All you have to do is reach out. Truly. Mara Rooney, a ghost story with Mara Rooney. Is it new, Gourmet Thursday? I haven't heard it, but it sounds good. A ghost story with Mara Rooney. And by the way, Gourmet Thursday, is that you singing in that band? Because I went to your page. I went to your page to subscribe. And by the way, Renee Rod, nobody is judging you. I love you to death, girl. To death. I love you to death. A ghost story. Let me back up because I'm like all over the place sometimes. Gourmet Thursday
Dana,
is
I'll
that.
drop down.
I'm sorry, Marie. I didn't mean to jump all over the place. Thank you
Oh,
so
that's
much for
okay.
thank you
I'm
so much for
happy to
coming up
do it.
here. You know I love you.
I love you too. You're wonderful.
Thank you so much. Hello, Marcella Booth Davis. Thank you for coming up here. We have been talking about deep diving in yourself and finding the gifts you stuffed behind when you should have been looking deep within. It's not you. It's beautiful, though. I thought that was you up there on that stage singing. But Marcel, from 21 to 28, those are the years we should be doing a deep dive in ourselves and looking for the gifts that we were naturally born with. Gourmet says, I wish. Whether it be intuitive gifts or creative gifts, etc. But we go ahead and go, ooh, I got the education, need to make money, need to do the family and all that stuff. And we jump right over it. And we end up going our whole life trying to dig into them. So we've been talking about having faith and belief and digging deep. And I've been challenging people in this community to let's do the deep dive. And I'm trying to go person by person and saying, what did you put on the shelf? What do you feel is maybe a spiritual gift that is in there? And let's go for it. I understand Renee says I always seem to get hurt when I love too much and help people, and that's why I'm in therapy. I'm scared to get close to people. I understand that, Renee. I understand. Marcella said the gifts are there. We just need to bring them forth and release them by faith. Exactly, Marcella. Exactly. That is what I was telling them today. We end up not taking that 7 years and stuffing them, and then we get older and older and we're like, oh crap. I did not take the leap of faith. I got stuck in this pattern and I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. And there was that seed or this thing really deep in me, and I did not open it up. And it can even be a supernatural thing. It can be an intuitive thing, an empathic thing, a knowing thing, a creative thing. It could have been I was a writer or a painter or anything. Anything. And they just didn't do it. So I'm challenging everybody to start digging it out and taking a moment and going within. And like Arsene used to write, and I challenged him to promise to do a page. Write a page. If somebody paint a few strokes. Do it 20 minutes. If somebody cooks, try a simple dish. If Renee Ron used to love and get close to people, Renee, you are in this community. You may not be knocking on my door or bringing me food, but you are trusting me. You are trusting me. You are trusting me, and you opened up to me, and you are sharing your heart with me. And I can feel you in here. And I care about you, genuinely care about you. And I understand that fear. And that's okay, and I respect that. And I understand getting hurt like that. So we bloom and we develop in our own time. It's about just taking that step and moving forward with faith. Marcella, she's so sweet. How is your hubby doing, Marcella? I know I haven't hit your DMs hard asking you lately. I didn't want to keep bugging you. But I would like to know how he is. But it's about moving forward fearlessly with faith, believing in something, even if you can't see it, just for a moment. Just for a moment. Because if you don't, then you are stagnant where you are. Life is made out of a series of moments. It's made out of a series of moments. Take a snapshot in your mind of those moments. Otherwise, it's going to be rinse and repeat. You don't want that in your life. You don't want to rinse and repeat until it's over. You don't want it. I want to leave some kind of mark. Oh, so good. Marcella says he's fine. We are in Carolina for a getaway tonight. Oh, thank God, thank God, thank God. Good, good, good. God is good. Yes, He is. Hug him for me. I don't know him, but I am so happy to hear it. Good, good, Marcella. You both deserve it. And I'm grateful that you have come onto my page to say and support. I mean, just to come in here and support. Thank you, Marcella. Thank you. I just, I want to uplift and I want to support and I just want to see all of you have some happy moments, some passion, some not stuckness. That's not even a word. I don't want you to have stuckness in your life. I want you to have moments, moments of passion and happy and just spark and exchange and connectiveness. And Renee, the fact that you trusted me enough to come in here and you get something in here, I want, when people come in here, I want you to get something out of being here. You know what I mean? Just get something out of being in here. Something that's not stressful or yucky or whatever. And I know sometimes we talk about some heavy topics, but I want you to get something out of here. So I'm challenging everybody to spread your wings. And if you're not comfortable connecting with people outside of your house, okay, you're connecting in here, right? You are connecting in here, Renee. And I respect and appreciate that. And the fact you're taking time to do the healing that you need and you're not stuck in that feeling, that is moving forward. That's moving forward. And all of you that said you were in to do something different and explore your own gifts, high five. And I'm going to be doing the same and working on myself and my own stuckness and seeing what more gifts are there. And I want to hear about your experiences as you challenge yourself. And if you need additional support, I'm serious. You know where to find me. I will put my email in here once again. And you can write me. I know we'll probably hear from Arthony. Oh, did I do it right? I have my glasses on. Let me put them on and make sure. Because you know I'm blind as a bat. Okay? You can write me there. You can get me at Dear Dana 3 on Instagram. And I want you to like, subscribe, and share on here. And I'm asking if you want to know about more topics, whether they are psychology, if you want to know about spirituality, if you want me to talk about some social commentary or some topics that are going on just in the world right now, or about movie stars or whatever. I don't really like reality TV that much. I'll watch it, but you know. But if you want to know about some other things, just hit me up and ask me. Ask me some questions. And if you want to come on here, don't be scared. Do I look scary? I hope not. I hope I don't look scary. I don't know why more people aren't coming up here with me. I dropped the link. I don't know what the dealio is. What is the problem? Is it because I'm 100 years old? Is it because I have curly hair? Is it because I have a crazy southern accent? I don't know what the problem is. I'm not scary. Come on up, people. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. But yeah, let's break it down. Break it down with me. But yes, please challenge yourself. And on Thursday, we will have a serious topics. What? Topics of the world. Again, and I'm too controversial. Look, let's not get nasty on here. You know what I mean? Let's try to keep it either interesting or positive or whatever. We don't want to get heavily controversial. I don't want politics and religion in here. Let's be for real. Let's not do that. Mm-mm. I'm controversial enough when I talk about the fact that, remote viewing, that I'm an evidential psychic medium, I'm a psychotherapist, um, you know what I mean? I think I crossed the line a little bit too much as it is. Don't you think? Arsene, let's be for real. Don't you think I crossed the line a little bit too much? I don't even fit in a genre. I'm a psychologist, a hypnotherapist, a psychic medium. Where do I fit? Tell me where I fit. I don't think I fit anywhere. Shoeless one! I have been so worried about you. Are you okay? I have been so worried about you. Yeah, I don't mind talking about, people in music, people in movies, people that have passed away, that are famous, um, people that are missing, people. I don't mind talking about cold cases. I don't mind talking about psychological stuff. I don't mind talking about psychic stuff. You know, medical stuff. We can talk about alternative medicine because that's my jam. Hypnosis, guided meditation. All those things. Or some other things you're interested in. We do healing work here. I think my spectrum's kind of wide. Been pretty crook. Uh oh, my dog's trying to fight with the cat. Nearly over it all, thankfully. I'm so sorry. I have been so concerned about you. We were wrapping up. I'm just happy to see you all. We'll be sending healing your way. Yes. Just happy to see you all. Anyway, we are going into 2.5 hours. Dana, it's best not to fit into any particular genre. This way you are not boxed in and it allows you to spread your spiritual wings. Thank you, LMS. But the YouTube gods want to fit me in a genre, and I got reviewed last week. I don't fit into any genre, and they did not like my YouTube thumbnails. So I'm trying to work on it. They didn't like my thumbnails. So I'm trying to redo things a little bit. I was going to all that YouTube school stuff. And I finally got reviewed. YouTube is actually work. But I appreciate every single one of you beyond, beyond, beyond. You do not know how much I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so very kindly. Yes. And Shelly and Shoeless One, We need to get together soon because we need to have a healing session for people. Thank you, Gourmet Thursday. We are going to schedule a focused healing session for those that are struggling with pain and chronic pain and that just need healing to see if we can help you all. You know, we have had some success with others that have had issues. We have had legitimate success where they have been able to come back and show us the after. Good. Someone had head to toe severe blood red, head to toe, doctors couldn't do anything with it, rash. And the after effect, and again, conduits. The after effect was it went from a 12 to a 2 and it was healing. Toothache, and then Shelly had pain, and I don't know what her pain level is currently, but her pain got significantly better. Yeah. And I have talked to Shelly, and I have a good sense that she has some healing abilities, one of her gifts. So I'm trying to talk and work with her to get those more amped up. So you would be amazed at the hidden gifts that you have. Shoeless one, I met him and I just had this strong gut feeling that he had significant healing abilities, and he does. So he has assisted me on some distant quantum healing, and I help mentor him at the moment. But you would be amazed at the abilities that you have to help people. Seriously. That's why I wanted to have this discussion tonight. And it's not that you just have to help everyone, but it helps you as well. And let me just say this, when I do quantum healing, when I do healing, your pain level's still good? Good. When I do quantum healing with people, and that's another conversation because I haven't eaten and I'm wrapping up. Crazy dog. It benefits highly the client, patient, but it also has an after effect, not as much as the client, but it also has a positive after effect for myself. So when you have spiritual gifts, to some degree, the after effect does also benefit you. That's a bonus. So I just had to throw that in. But we are at Eastern Time, 10 o'clock. This may have bored some of you stiff. I hope not. But I'm challenging you all. Dig deep within no matter what your age. Go forward fearlessly with faith. Go for those little kid magical beliefs once again. Throw that magic back in your life and believe. I'm asking you to believe. And let's see what you find. And if you need the extra support, if you need the boost of, we did a little bit of guided meditation earlier. You can rewind if you want to see it. I'm here. Again, I want to thank you for being here at Dear Dana. Truly. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I want to ask you to put a little, oh yeah, check out a ghost story. I'm going to do that, Gourmet. Put a little extra magic in your life. And I will see you probably Wednesday and Thursday this week, but especially Thursday. I will see you again this week. Have a wonderful Sunday. I love you all. Thank you for coming to Dear Dana, and that is it. Bye, everybody. Thank you again. Like, share, subscribe. Have a beautiful week. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go.